He's in a rich vein of scoring form. Let's just check out the St Helens lineup again. Connolly is back, so too is Ward. They've had to rejig the three-quarter line, though. Fevers gets his first chance of the season from the start at full-back. There is Phil Vevers, a try in this fixture last season. The St Helens full-back. The Salford side, as the two teams change ends, it's exactly the same 13 that lined up against Halifax last week. Here are the two substitutions for each side. St Helens have got Paul Forber and Chris Joint, two forwards. Salford, Wayne Reid and Arthur Bradshaw. The match referee is Russell Smith from Castleford in his second season on the Grade 1 list in British Rugby League. We're all set then. It's St Helens against Salford at Knowsley Road, exclusively here on Sky Sports. The leaders of the First Division, St Helens, putting their 100% record to the test against Salford, a Salford side rejuvenated by the arrival from Australia of Craig Coleman, and who played so well in front of our cameras against Halifax last week. Tia Rapati then gets this important match underway. And the first touch for Jason Critchley, the winger, the man who began his career at loose forward and has been moved to the wing with such devastating effect. Salford back with Peter Williams to kick downfield. Vevers, first touch for him. Almost a disastrous first touch, and immediately Salford, their first tackle by Ian Blease, their captain, pulled out for high tackling.
Referee Smith very quick on the mark. Blease above the shoulders. A little bit of nerves coming to there, Phil Vevers. You could see quite clearly it was a high tackle. Well done, Mr. Smith.
So Bernard Dwyer will restart and give it to Jonathan Neal. And Jonathan Neal being dragged towards the touchline by three Salford defenders. Here's Bernard Dwyer. Inside to Kevin Ward. Great roar around this ground when Kevin Ward gets the ball. The sort of form, says Mike McLennan, that should make him a certainty for the World Cup final in October. Here's Griffiths. Now Cooper. Round the corner to Nicol. Nicol heading for the gap, and he's through. He's got support inside from Dwyer, but he held on.
Good run there by Nicol. Tremendous support play.
It's the last tackle, and this is Alan Hunt who's hanging on. Rapati is the dummy half. Griffiths, the first receiver. Griffiths on his own. Forward pass. Forward pass from Griffiths to Rapati. The try scratched out.
Good play by Griffiths. But Rapati coming through. The referee was right there. No doubt about it. You could see him in the blue. It was a forward pass. Not standing square. The penalty given. You must stand in front of the man when he's playing the ball, not to one side.
It's a damp day here in St Helens. Very grey, very misty all day, and just before the kick-off the rain started coming down. So conditions will be testing for slick handling, and that's what St Helens play is all about. But Kevin Ward pulled out because he wouldn't let go of the shirt of Jed Stasica.
Ward coming in, a little bit enthusiastic. Now the referee has called held. Saw a little bit of a movement to the right hand.
Well, big mistake from Salford. They didn't find touch with that penalty, so St Helens are back in possession with Bernard Dwyer. This is Sonny Nicol. Whoa, look at the strength of Nicol. Such a disappointment when Nicol had to come home from that tour this summer. Good ball from Mann to Sullivan. Great tackle, Coleman. Magnificent defence from the little Australian scrum half.
Oh, tremendous tackle. Wonderful sweep in. Eye on the target, take him through. But what a great pass by Mann to send the winger away. But that man, Craig Coleman, what a tremendous tackle.
Yes, Coleman. Desperately unlucky not to play for his country. He's appeared in the number 7 jersey during a marvellous era of Australian halfbacks. Didn't even play State of Origin football for New South Wales. Critchley now for Salford. Referee Russell Smith is making a good 5 here at the play the balls. And David Young, well tackled by Rapati, bit of help from George Mann. Here's Burkitt, the full-back. Saints runners-up to Wigan last season. They won 17 and drew 2 of their 26 matches. Salford, they had an impressive first half of last season, but eventually finished 10th, only just above relegated Featherstone on points difference. But that's a good kick downfield. Coleman again, the engineer in charge.
All the experience of playing for so many seasons in South Sydney, in Australia, coming to the fore there. It really is a little general, marshaled the troops, and added that little bit of steel and fire to this Salford side.
Saints get the possession from the scrum with Griffiths. 0-0 on the scoreboard, just over 5 minutes gone. You notice one or two of the St Helens players wearing those long white cycle shorts. Bernard Dwyer in the dummy half there is one of them. I think they were patented really by Brian Smith in Australia with St George. However, the thigh pads haven't helped the handling, and Salford back in possession with Phil Ford. Now with Coleman, he called for David Young to run onto that. Good defence from Cooper and from Ward. Referee says the ball went back. Mark Lee, formerly with St Helens, getting away with it. Salford on the charge with Coleman, looking to open that St Helens defence. Oh, that's good play though. Salford keep the ball alive. This is Hansen. Well, they've dropped it, and Sullivan has swooped. It's a real race here. Sullivan against Gilfillan, and here comes Critchley. Is it going to be Sullivan? Yes! Magnificent try. Big mistake from Salford up the other end. Sullivan played soccer with it from one end of the field to the other. He beat them all for pace. Gilfillan and Critchley, and touchdown under the sticks.
The Stones bit of championship replay will show Sullivan using all the soccer skills. Lovely kick through. Salford paid the price. They were moving in attack. They tried to keep the ball alive. They had no pullback at home. Hansen tried to keep it alive there. It went to nowhere. Cruikshank couldn't get to it. Good play by the winger. He's come off the wing into the centre in case something like this happens. The man on hand, that's a good try. Wonderful control with the feet. And isn't he happy?
Big smile from Anthony Sullivan. Jason Critchley saying he got a hand to it first. Referee unimpressed, and Bernard Dwyer adds the extra 2. Dwyer, who kicked in midweek, who kicked last week rather for St Helens. 1 goal. He's doubled his season's tally. 6-0. The league leaders ahead. You said there'd be plenty of points. We've only been playing 7 minutes or thereabouts. We've had 6 already.
Well, both sides very eager to throw this ball around. We saw there that Salford, and we saw last week against Halifax, they should have had that game wrapped up very quickly indeed. But through silly mistakes, they allowed Halifax to get back into the match. And that's another one that they could prove very costly.
Well, they're so quick in the 3 quarters, St Helens. They really do believe here that Mike McLennan has built a side that really can challenge Wigan's supremacy. But the referee, Russell Smith, has brought that movement to a halt. He says Shane Cooper knocked on.
Cooper not impressed. Once again, we just mentioned the fact that they're trying to keep this ball alive. Maybe a little bit over-enthusiastic about that one. but he's the man in charge.
That's a good ball from Burgess to Critchley. Critchley all wrapped up, and he didn't like the challenge from Nicol as it came in over his shoulder. Coleman is the dummy half. Hansen the first receiver. Mark Lee, Craig Coleman, David Young. High tackle, penalty right in front of the sticks. And Kevin Ward and David Young swapping insults and swapping punches.
David Young catching one then there from his opposite. Kevin Ward not too impressed by it all, but it was a high tackle. This should be a gift, 2 points. Having a few words to say to Russell Smith, politely, I hope.
Kevin Ward left Castleford 2 years ago. His career was kick-started by the move, and according to Mike McLennan, his coach, he should be the first man on Malcolm Reilly's team sheet for the World Cup final on October the 24th against the Aussies. Kevin Tamati, the Salford coach, is right alongside our camera behind the sticks at that clubhouse end of Knowsley Road, getting a bird's eye view of this penalty attempt from Martin Burkitt. Right in front. Salford off the mark. Burkitt with his 26th successful kick of the season. Saints 6, the Red Devils 2. Or should we say the Yellow Devils today? Change kit. St Helens then, unbeaten, but a word of caution for all their supporters. They made a similar start to this last season, winning their opening 6 games on the trot, eventually to be overhauled by Wigan. But as I say, Mike, as Critchley runs that ball out of defence, there is hope in this part of the world that St Helens have built a side that really can challenge the Wiganers this time round.
For the last 2 seasons, they've been putting it together right, haven't they? They had the solid Kevin Ward brought in, and then they've built very intelligently to it. Sullivan. They really are a good side with plenty of depth, and that's what it's all about.
Williams's kick was a difficult one for Beavers to take. He was just slightly behind it, but he stretched and picked it up off the deck. Great catch, this.
Well, he showed a few nerves in the opening minutes, but he certainly got over them with a catch like that. The Australian really did commit himself.
Here's Kevin Ward. Brilliantly to Nicol. That's why McLennan says he should be in the British lineup. Dwyer through the gap, but just hauled back by Mark Lee. Nicol, the dummy half. Cooper and Griffiths. Rapati's there too. Rapati through, but good tackling in the end. But Saints making ground every time they have the ball in their hands. Griffiths will hoist the high kick under the sticks. Underneath it, Critchley. And Critchley, with Sullivan breathing right down his neck, kept his eye on the ball.
Wonderful kick here from Griffiths, right across the face of the post. But Critchley equal to the task.
Terrible error by Salford at the play of the ball. Burkitt looked like he'd made the knock on, then Gilfillan made a hash of it too.
Well, these silly mistakes are still coming through. Was he interfered with there by Jonathan Griffiths? He certainly could have been helped as he was trying to play the ball.
Griffiths gets possession from the scrum, and the return pass from Rapati. The ball just bounced down. It's offside. Offside against Gilfillan. It bounced off a Salford arm.
Well, there's no doubt about it that Peter Williams went for that ball, so it is a knock-on. It went forward. Gilfillan was found offside. It's always a bit of a problem for a referee if a pass does go astray, but there was no doubt about it in my mind that Williams did make an attempt to try to get to that ball. Offside resulting. A gift, 2 points, should be in the bag for St Helens.
No Paul Loughlin, of course, for St Helens. Paul Bishop transferred as well, so goal-kicking responsibilities have fallen on the shoulders of Bernard Dwyer over the past couple of matches. He's not had anything too difficult so far this afternoon, but that's the second successful kick from him. St Helens 8, Salford 2. Bernard Dwyer, if I remember rightly, he kicked a 12 in the Lancashire Cup tie against Trafford Borough last season. So he can kick a goal or two, can Mr. Dwyer?
Well, umpire said it is very little that hookers can do.
Or can't do.
Something like that.
14 minutes gone. St Helens with that 6-point lead again. 8 points to 2. Connolly's underneath the kick-off from Burkitt. Good chasing, Salford. That was a good tackle by Cruikshank on Connolly, right under his own sticks. Nicol, well, he's running strongly already today, isn't he? Dwyer and Jonathan Neal puffs the cheeks out, tucks the ball under the arm, heads forward. Cooper and Ward. I must say it's going to be a great battle royal between Ward and David Young and the rest of the Salford pack. Here's Cooper stepping off one foot and the other, but eventually hauled down by Cruikshank. Back to Vivers for the kick. Lee tried to charge that down. That's not a bad kick either. But I think there might be a bit too much meat on it and it'll skim across the wet turf and run dead. It does.
Plenty of weight behind that kick from Vivers. Caught Martin Burkitt way up out of his position.
Quarter of an hour of this match gone. The league leaders ahead, 8 points to 2. Saints and Devils today on Sky Sports. Referee's whistle sounds shrilly for another high tackle.
Well, the message is out strong and clear, isn't it? The referees the past couple of weeks have really been hot on this. And good luck to them, really. We have to stamp it out. That's the only way. Keep penalising. If the players don't understand it, believe you me, the coaches will. They realise it can be bad for them.
What a challenge that was on Hansen by Neal, shoulder to shoulder. The bells are ringing. Young does well to release the ball to Lee. He finds Jed Stazika. And Stazika could only find Nicol and Kevin Ward. Cruikshank. Coleman, long pass to his captain Blease. Takes the return, gives it to Stazika. Forward pass, shout the Saints supporters. Russell Smith waves play on. Hansen's the dummy half. Back to Mark Lee, out to Peter Williams. Williams dabs the ball forward. Too strong. Ran dead. Saints tap on their own 22. They want to get on with it quickly. Salford is stretched. Here's Rapati. What a run! He's got Alan Hunt in support. Alan Hunt stumbles, collects his thinking, and goes over for the try. Good, quick, incisive, attacking play by St Helens. Caught Salford napping, took the tap quickly. Rapati's break. Hunt in support, and Hunt with his 7th touchdown of the season.
The Stones Better Championship replay will see Rapati, who caught the Salford defence well and truly napping. Wonderful support play by Alan Hunt. Having a wonderful season so far. They threw the ball to Dwyer, who quickly got it to Rapati. You can see that the Salford defence just had no chance to get into a straight line. They were all over the shop. And this is the reason why the extra 4 points has come about. He has the speed. Great thinking.
Alan Hunt has begun the season as a try-scoring fullback. He now is on the wing, where he probably will start operating now that St Helens have got David Lyon. And he's presented Bernard Dwyer with his 3rd successful kick of the afternoon. The league leaders on a roll.
There you see Bernard Dwyer. Now let's just stop it there. Because they've done it quick, look how the defence is split open. They're not in a straight line. Woeful defence, and it was penalised severely.
Alan Hunt stumbled. He regathered his legs, regathered his thoughts. But there's the man who started it, Tia Rapati, with a great break. Pushed the pass inside. And Hunt and his speed, once he'd got himself balanced. He did the rest.
The great thing about that, Eddie, is that that just wasn't a fluke. Teams actually practiced that. You notice that as soon as the ball went over the dead-in goal line, the man in the dummy half position now, Dwyer, was actually on the quarter line waiting for the ball to be passed to him. That's how they catch a defence on the hop.
14-2 then, the St Helens advantage against Salford. They really look in the mood today, Saints, to score a few points. Alan Hunt certainly is. That's a try now for him in each of his last 5 matches, including this one.
Well, a big problem for Salford is that they're not moving up at all. They're allowing St Helens to get over that advantage line with ease, and that can only create problems for the Devils.
Coleman, the dummy half. Mark Lee. Ooh, the swinging arm from Kevin Ward. Lee just ducked underneath it. David Young, but Saints caught offside.
Well, referee Russell Smith catches them on his left-hand side. If he had wanted to turn round, he would have seen that there was 4 more infringing a lot more than the ones on the left to him.
We're midway through this first half, and St Helens have a big advantage already, 12 points. But Stazika dragging Salford up towards the other end, and now Cruikshank and Hansen. Oh, that looked a line ball. Hansen releases the ball in the tackle, and, well, the referee has played knock-on. Both sides knocking on. First knock-on is the one that's pulled back.
Well, this was never really on, was it? They tried to keep the ball alive. It is a little bit slippy out there. We've had intermittent rain.
This now is McCracken, but he just couldn't get his hands to it. Referee has blown the whistle. McCracken. Now then, this is a better run from Gilfillan.
This is where Craig Coleman has to come into his own. Start leading by example. Oh, great run!
David Young, support from Blees. Good tackling, but a forward pass. Great tackle from Griffiths anyway, but the referee's whistle had sounded for the forward pass.
Well, Dave Young really stepped out onto it. He just pushed Dwyer away. Great strength. That was a line ball, in my opinion, but I'm not the man with the whistle.
Here's Rapati again. Cooper. Oh, thundered to the floor by Blees. The two captains face to face then. Dwyer feeding off the scraps. Neil standing in the tackle, releasing the ball.
They're catching Salford flat-footed. They're not moving up. They're allowing St Helens to control this game.
Somehow Phil Beavers hung on to that then. He'll have a big smile on his face, the Aussie, I've no doubt. Kevin Ward now. That touched the Salford arm. It's 6 to go as Dwyer makes ground. St Helens always anxious to unload the ball in the tackle, keep it alive, and here comes Ward.
See what I mean about broaching that advantage line. Look, they're doing it again with so much ease.
He's a big man, Neil, and he's found Connolly. Long pass from him to Cooper. He finds Nicol. Salford are at 6s and 7s. They've got their backs against the wall here. Man. Connolly is steaming up in support. So is McCracken. Connolly's there. Connolly. It's good to watch from St Helens. Connolly trying for a penalty. Referee unimpressed. Cooper. Dabs the ball forward. No knock on.
Good play by the hooker. The skipper, Cooper, pushes this ball through. Ooh. It bobbled, didn't it? But it didn't touch the floor.
Phil Ford, we haven't seen a run from Ford. And we still aren't going to see one. Not for the time being. Stazika. Great defence from St Helens.
They're putting Salford on the rack. They really want to keep them in that quarter.
That's 5 tackles gone, and St Helens have kept Salford inside their own 10-metre mark. Williams with the kick to try and relieve the pressure. It's gone straight up in the air. Well, Hunt let it bounce, and it's Williams who's following it up. Oh, that's a great run from Williams. He was the only man who could chase that kick downfield. He played everybody onside. Oh, that's a risky pass. Well, St Helens here contributing to their own downfall. Knock on, though. The referee, his whistle blows.
Well, Sullivan lost the ball there. A bad mistake. But that was great play there by Peter Williams. And it took a shout from Phil Vevers to Alan Hunt at the last minute to make him aware of it.
Here's Gilfillan. He stepped out of the challenge from McCracken. And he's still going, is Gilfillan, up to the 20-metre mark. 14-2, that's the score. 25 minutes gone. Blees. Watched by Cooper, pushed back by Ward and Dwyer. Lee to Coleman, to Gilfillan. Stazika now. Unloads to Coleman. Long pass to Cruikshank. Cruikshank! Well, he took the dummy at St Helens, but Cruikshank, at second attempt, the ball just slipped from his grasp.
Well, he tried to keep the ball alive again. They just really are not respecting this possession. Must be turning the hair grey on their coach, Kevin Tamati. That's the 5th time they've got into the St Helens quarter, and they've come up with a mistake.
Rapati takes something to bring him down. Cooper and Mann. Takes something to bring Mann down as well. 5 handling errors apiece on this grey day. That looked like an elbow in the stomach by Blees on Jonathan Neal. This is Ward. Does so well to unload that ball in the tackle. Look at the quick hands from Saints. That's good tackling by Phil Ford.
That was a brilliant tackle by Ford. They had the one-man overlap. He had to come in and take it.
The little chip over the top is for Hunt. Oh, it just couldn't keep it in play. Salford again was stripped bare behind that play then.
Well, you can see quite clearly the kick over. There was no sweeper. And the fullback again, Martin Burkitt, was caught out. There'll be plenty to do in the half-time break, I'm sure, by the Salford coach, Kevin Tamati. They have not got this defensive line worked out yet.
Shane Hansen, the Kiwi, has taken a bang. He has to come off. And onto the field comes Arthur Bradshaw, a product of the Thatto Heath Amateur Club in St Helens, Arthur Bradshaw, but he was been snapped up by Salford. 8 tries last season. He's taken his place. There he is, number 15 in the second row of the pack there. Good tackling by Cooper and Vevers on Burkitt. This is Cruikshank. Burgess going nowhere. Coleman and Stazika. Nice run from Stazika.
Stazika had a great game last week against Halifax, and Salford will be looking for him to take them forward again.
Coleman now. Well, they're alert to the danger of Craig Coleman. Last tackle. Ian Blees clapping his hands as he picked that ball up at the dummy half position. Burkitt gets away from Nicol and kicks the ball downfield, but only finds Anthony Sullivan.
mistake by Salford. The ball was passed into no man's land. It took the skills of Martin Burkett to get him out of the trouble then.
Jonathan Neal. Straight through Stazika. Vivas supporting, as is Rapati. Rapati tackled by Bradshaw. Hung on to it. Ward now. He stands in the tackle, gives it to Griffiths. He gives it to Dwyer. And the conditions then just rob St Helens once more. The ball just wouldn't stick for Bernard Dwyer.
He took his eyes off the ball there, but tremendous play by St Helens. They're just broaching this line all the time. Kevin Ward ran like a steam engine then.
They're a different kettle of fish, aren't they, Mike? Saints to Wigan, who we saw in such good form on Friday. Wigan, it's all based on defence and keeping it tight and then snapping out. St Helens play with a lot more flair, don't they?
My word, they give them the option. They go out there and look as though they're enjoying it.
Cruikshank. David Young. Oh, Connolly stood up to the tackle well then. Look at Young, he tried to use the thigh and move him, and Connolly dumped him to the ground. That's a great tackle. The sort of tackle, Mike, that Malcolm really would want to see on the 24th of October.
Well, he looks slight, but believe you me, he's very strong. Got wonderful upper body strength, and it was on show there.
Here's George Mann.
Get off him, yes! Play your ball, there, get out of it!
Dwyer on his own from dummy half. And the referee again has blown the whistle. Ford doesn't believe it, but having seen that, he might.
No doubt about it. Ford coming in off the wing, grabbing rather than swinging, but it's still above the shoulders. I don't know why it's taking so long for these players to understand that the referees are going to have none of this. Go low or be penalised.
I think it's a point we made on Friday, Mike. The coaches still want their players to go ball and all when it's in the position where it is now with Ward just under his armpit. Here's another try for Saints. Hunt. It was easy. The ball was tucked under Kevin Ward's arm. It was flung out, helped out wide to Hunt, and Hunt touchdown. That's try number 8 of the season.
The Stones Better Championship replay will show what happens when a forward comes 100 mile an hour with the strength of Kevin Ward. He got the ball away. It was a lovely, neat pass out here. Rapati fed. It had to be scored. Alan Hunt in magnificent form. Look at this man go. The strength striding through. Beautiful pass out wide. Okay, it went to the ground, but they had the support play. Rapati, and as I said, it had to be scored. He squeezed through Stazika and the fullback Burkett. That is a great try.
Alan Hunt, the try scorer, but the man who created it, Kevin Ward, 35 years old, and he is still the best prop forward in Great Britain. And if Malcolm Reilly's watching this, should he pick up the phone and ask Kevin Ward to play for him in the World Cup final on the 24th of October? There's a lot of people around this ground who think he should. Dwyer then, what's he made of as a goal kicker? Well, it wasn't too far away. St Helens ahead 18-2.
Now let's just watch this magnificent burst here. Now Ward's strength, look at him go through. Now let's just hold it at that screen. You see the defence is coming to him. Even though the ball went backwards, look at the support play by these two St Helens players, and that is why the try was come. Keeping the ball alive. Out it goes. Okay, it went behind Connolly, but that is good second phase attack. That is also important in this modern day of rugby league.
18-2 then, St Helens lead. Salford have had to make a change. Peter Williams is in the blood bin. He's having his head bandaged up as we speak here. And Wayne Reid has come on, number 14, there he is, trying to bring down George Mann. Wayne Reed, ever present until last weekend when he lost his place after being at the birth of his new baby. But here's McCracken at full stretch, Hunt outside, but that's a good tackle. That's a great tackle from Cruikshank on the New Zealander. St Helens are swarming forward again. Cooper.
Good run by McCracken, but it was made by the man who's been dummy half there, the hooker. Bernard Dwyer, he's having a great game.
So's this fellow Ward. Oh, he's a hero in this part of the world, Kevin Ward. 35 years old, I said. 35 years young he is. Man, it just bounced off his hip. It was on the last tackle. That'll be the handover.
That was a planned move. Rapati using the dummy close to him. Man should have had that. The gap appeared there. A try went begging, I feel.
David Young. Straight into Ward. Ward, the immovable object. Offside, St Helens.
Well, the referee there stating that they'd move forward, but as you can see clearly, the lefty, the play of the ball was actually being passed by the dummy half. But he's in charge.
5 minutes to half-time. St Helens very much in the box seat here, 18-2 ahead. Looked like Jonathan Neal got a stud to that ball. The referee says, though, it is not back to zero for the tackle count, so Salford keep on coming. Reed out to Birkin. That's good play. Ford shrugs Hunt off first chance, then gets the ball away to Blease, and Blease dumped to the floor by Connolly again. Well, there's plenty for Malcolm really to smile about in this match. Connolly's strength and Ward's form. Burgess snubbed out the danger by Ward again. Coleman just delayed the pass, and St Helens just delayed the Salford man in time. Salford aren't finished, please. It bounced off his chest, though. Knock on is the decision, and it was on the last one. It's the handover again.
Kept his eyes on the ball on the replay there. It was an easy knock on.
Here's Rapati. He's got McCracken steaming up. He's got Sullivan steaming up. But he just couldn't get the ball away to them. He might not have to. Now he's found Sullivan. Still going Sullivan. Oh, great try. No. Yes. Try. Brilliant stuff. Breathtaking play by St Helens. Rapati's strength with the break. Sullivan the supporting act from one end of the field to the other.
The Stones Bit of Championship replay will see St Helens in scintillating form. Rapati made the break. The defence was just split to ribbons. He did the wrong thing here. He tried to go inside, but he could get away. He did. This time he did it right. Held the ball up. Good play by Sullivan. He looks as though he's passing. He throws the dummy, and he goes through. He cannot be stopped. It was Critchley that half stopped him. He dives in between. Great try. As I mentioned before, Rapati took the wrong option, but got away with it. Look at it. Let the wingman go inside, sit back, and enjoy. You beauty.
Anthony Sullivan, 22-2, the score. Dwyer with the conversion attempt, just shaved the post. Well, St Helens playing with such flair, such excitement. And they're leading by 22 points to 2. It's
been a tremendous job by the St Helens side. They have just cut this Salford side to ribbons. Remember, this is the same Salford side that shocked the league leaders Halifax last week.
And everyone at this ground, of course, warming up for the Battle Royal that will be joined in midweek in the Lancashire Cup when Widnes are due here. And of course, if Saints get through that, Salford might be back here for the semi. So they're watching this and they maybe think if they get through Wednesday, they're in the Lancashire Cup final, the Saints supporters.
Well, if they play like this, there's no doubt in my book.
Griffiths. Rapati, the dummy half. Cooper and Ward again. Marauding Ward. Brilliant. Magnificent stuff. Oh, dropping the ball was Sonny Nicol. It was a forward pass anyway. But no wonder the crowd applaud.
What a wonderful run and what a great pass by Kevin Ward to Dwyer. Dwyer took the wrong option. He brought the ball back inside, which was forward and also knocked on by Sonny Nicol. But there were four of the St. Helens players to the right of Dwyer. Scintillating football, and they just cannot hold back this Kevin Ward. He is rampant.
Blees gets it back to Coleman. Turns the ball in field to Cruikshank. He helps it on. Not a forward pass. The ball's gone free again, and Griffiths has hacked it on. McCracken need only pick it up and he'll score. Still McCracken, try. Critchley tripped in a collision off the ball, but McCracken took a lot of time before getting his hands on that ball and going over the line for the 4-pointer. Relief on his face.
The Stones bit of championship replay, the kick through. Jared McCracken, the Kiwi, in all the time in the world, he could have made a pot of tea here. Jason Critchley stumbled over. Jonathan Griffiths it was that he stumbled away. It took a long time for him to control that ball. Look at this, put the kettle on mum. He'd all the time in the world. Unfortunately for Critchley, he had collided with Griffiths.
McCracken's second try of the season. Jonathan Griffiths involved in it too, but McCracken's first here at Knowsley Road, perhaps significantly. The big Kiwi. He's here at least until February. And by the looks of his face, he's enjoying his rugby in this part of the world. Tira Partey's taken over the goal-kicking responsibilities now from Bernard Dwyer. Partey, the right-footed kicker from this side, didn't really have a chance. But, well, let's face it, when you're running in tries like St. Helens have run in here in the first half, who really needs a goal kicker? Scintillating stuff from the league leaders. They're ahead at half-time by 26 points to 2, and you can settle back for yet more in the second half. Saints really do look in the mood. Knowsley Road has seen a tremendous first half from St. Helens. 5 tries. There are some of the match statistics. Penalties going Salford's way. Scrums going Salford's way. St. Helens have made more handling errors. But when you're ahead by 26 points to 2, who cares? Perhaps Mike McLennan will. But in a 5-try first half, we had 2 from Alan Hunt. And we had 2 from the other wing from Anthony Sullivan. Add to the 1 from Jared McCracken, that makes a wonderful 5-try extravaganza in the first 40 minutes. And Salford have got it all on here to stop being absolutely hammered. They get the second half underway with Martin Burkitt. Just checking briefly round the teams. It looks like it's as you were at the start of this second half. Ball back with Burkitt. He wants another go here.
The sad thing really for Salford's point of view is that from those 6 mistakes that they made in the first half, St Helens scored 4 tries from them.
I don't know what Kevin Tamati could have said at half-time, but I'm sure he's asked for improvement and a bit more respect for the football, Mike. But what do you say to a side who's been hit by 5 tries and trails 26-2 at the break?
Well, basically, they would have got to get that defence back into one line. They really were ripped apart. They were allowing St Helens to control the game, allowing them to come at them. They must move up very quickly, especially out wide. And they've got to start stopping the big fellas from running.
Here's Coleman. His attempted chip over the top is charged down by Cooper, but the referee says it wasn't a charge down, it was a knock-on. And so he has pulled St Helens back.
Well, that's a charge down. Well, the only thing I can think of, that it should have been perhaps accidental offside there.
Salford's head and feed. Critchley with the ball. Cruikshank clapping his hands, wanting more effort. That's better. Captain Ian Blease doing his best, but Coleman, St Helens have not given him an inch today. Turned the game their way for Salford last week against Halifax, but St Helens won't let him settle on the ball at all.
Well, once again, scrappy play by Salford. They do try to keep this ball alive, but they do not respect the possession. They really are just forcing it too much.
Ball's loose from the scrum. Griffiths picks it up, and he has once more found a big gap right down the middle, trying to go round Ford. Ford won't let him get through. Nicol is in at dummy half. Oh, well, that looked like it was shepherding. Obstruction, the referee agrees. Nicol running right behind Rapati.
Well, Tia Rapati just cannot believe this. The gap was there.
He got him twice, didn't he?
Sonny Nicol threw the dummy, they went through. You can see Rapati saying, I can't believe that.
Having a big season so far, Tia Rapati. And Sonny Nicol too, with plenty to prove after being invalided home after just 3 appearances on the 1992 Lions tour.
I think we'll see a little bit of a different tactics from Salford this half. They can't get through the strong Saints defence. They've got to use the kick a little bit more, especially from Craig Coleman.
It's Andy Burgess who has it at the moment, but it looked like a little knock-on. Another mistake from Salford. Oh, Kevin Tamati will be going grey.
Well, you can see the hooker Lee, just a little knock-on, but the referee was there.
There's Kevin Tamati. Every picture tells a story. He's watching his side being systematically taken apart here.
The confidence in the Salford defence has just been shattered.
Bernard Dwyer bringing Jonathan Neal into it. Well, Mark Lee caught an elbow in the face then, as maybe in the throat. He's flat out, is Mark Lee.
Well, there was little doubt that Jonathan Neal was using the elbow. Whether that was just protection or whether he moved it is hard to define. But it was a big collision.
Felt that one in the throat, did Mark Lee. This is the last tackle, and Griffiths has chipped one over the top. Hunt has just run it out of play, but he was offside anyway. And he says, what, me?
Lovely little kick there by Jonathan Griffiths, stating that he was offside. Well, it's pretty close to it. Once again, the referee has to be the boss. He has to be in charge. Doesn't matter how loud the crowd shouts. It's not going to change the decision.
Mark Lee just jogging back into your picture at the top of the screen there, fully recovered, but he will have a bit of a sore throat in the morning. Here is David Young. Took high by Kevin Ward.
Well, to be fair, the referee, Russell Smith, has been consistent. It's high, no doubt about it. It wasn't a swinging one, it was a grab.
It's what Kevin Ward has been doing all his life, to be fair, isn't it? The business that we were mentioning earlier, ball and all.
Well, they've only just introduced this new interpretation of the rule this season. I know rules are there to be broken, but referees are pretty consistent about it now.
Just over 5 minutes of this second half gone, 26-2. St Helens still in the lead. Lee gets the ball somehow to Coleman. Coming up onto it is Cruikshank. Coleman in support. This is better from Salford. But St Helens again just bring the ball back under control almost with the tackle. Salford, though, still in possession with Mark Lee. Support is there from Cruikshank and also from Bradshaw. But look at the tackle from Kevin Ward.
Well, Salford didn't realise that the referee had wiped it clean.
Here's Coleman, and he scored. That is better for Salford. Saints didn't have it under control at all. The referee wiped the tackle count clean. Saints didn't realise it, and Salford have stolen in.
Stone's been a championship replay. We'll see the little cheeky Australian throw the little dummy. It was enough for him to glide over. The St Helens defence couldn't get to it. That's all it needed, was that little dummy. Dwyer went for it. It was enough for the gap to open, and that is a good try. And it's just what the doctor ordered. St Helens caught a little bit there. Dwyer not moving towards him, taking the dummy. Coleman takes the 4, and a glimmer of hope comes into the Red Devils.
Craig Coleman's 5th try in 3 matches. Burkitt with the conversion attempt. Straight over, clean as a whistle. So Salford are back in it, but only just.
Let's just see the Coleman thing. Let's just hold it. Throws the dummy. There's the man stranded. That's the path. Good try. Very good try, and he'll enjoy that one. Just got it onto the line. And on the line is a try.
And Phil Vivers, meanwhile, being sent to the blood bin to be patched up. It's 26 points to 8. Salford have made a change as Viva comes to get a bit of plaster or perhaps a stitch in a cup on the head. That's the Salford substitute, Wayne Reid, who's come on for Andy Burgess. And Paul Forber has come on as Vivers goes into the blood bin. And the St Helens doctor following him into the dressing room. A stitch or two is needed for Mr. Vivers.
Well, that try should have lifted Salford's spirit somewhat. Can they get on a roll?
And the sun comes out at Knowsley Road. After all the cloud that we've had all morning and the rain that fell earlier on, it now is a lovely warm day. Hunt has dropped back to fullback, you'll notice, in the absence of Vivers. Well, Salford must have known they were up against it because of the 15 matches at Knowsley Road. St Helens have won 13, there's only been 1 draw. And Saints have only lost to Salford once in league football here since the reintroduction of 2-division football in 1973. Referee has meanwhile given St Helens the penalty. I think he was being pulled back in the tackle here.
Well, the ball with Ian Blease was thrown through, but what about the advantage? Referee was very quick on it there, but no doubt about it, Ian Blease, the Salford skipper, pulling back Tia Rapati, but I thought that Rapati had made the break.
St Helens then with 6 more, and they're back camped on that Salford 20-metre mark. Dwyer's the dummy half. Cooper is the runner. 26-8. That's the score. Nearly 10 minutes gone. Forber knocked that one back, says the referee, so play on. Paul Forber, interesting Halifax. Needs just one try for 50 for St Helens, the big St Helens substitute. Rapati's missed out. Connolly couldn't get to it. Knocks it back. Referee waves, play on. It's with Sullivan. Remember, Sullivan and Alan Hunt both on a hat-trick. Cooper. Ward. Ward dropped that one. Salford get it back.
Well, it's St Helens this half that's trying to be a little bit too clever, keeping the ball alive.
Big mistake from David Young. He's given it to Griffiths. Griffiths has given it to Rapati. Try time! Rapati grounds. A magnificent display from him. Created so much in the first half. Did Tia Rapati with his strong runs. Griffiths picked up the loose ball after Young had dropped it, and Rapati did the rest.
Stones Bit of Championship replay will show Salford going through the horrors once again. The Welsh prop, Young dropping the ball. Griffiths fed Rapati. There was no one at home. The step was enough. Beautiful play. That really was top quality stuff. Peter Williams could have no chance against this guy. Griffiths fed it. Look at that. The step. The ball was beautiful. He positioned himself. Poor old Martin Burkett, the fullback, was not equal to that task. The mistakes are coming once again, and this is how they are penalised.
Tia Rapati then with the touchdown. Bernard Dwyer with his fourth successful kick of the afternoon. The scoreline now looks very healthy again from a St Helens point of view. St Helens 32, Salford 8. So St Helens well in control of this match at Knowsley Road, 32 points to 8. Salford have been punished for every mistake they've made just about. And Burkett restarts. Out on the fall. Burkett with the kick. McCracken judged it to perfection, just ducked his head, and it went out dead in goal. Penalty on the halfway line for Saints.
Horror day for Salford, really, after this wonderful display last week against Halifax. They really have never got going today. Let's not take anything away from the St Helens attack, but so many mistakes has allowed St Helens the platform to build upon and take full advantage.
Just a moment or two while Dwyer clears the second ball off the pitch. Here comes Neil. The whole of the St Helens front row, though, Mike, Neil, Dwyer in there at dummy half, and of course, needless to say, Kevin Ward in possession now. They played brilliantly today.
Well, they played very hard and tough, but the main advantage is the fact that they've been getting the ball away in the tackle.
Man almost through that tackle from Wayne Reid. In fact, he is still going. Salford having a mighty problem in bringing these players down.
Well, one of their big problems is that they allow St Helens to come to them rather than move up and put pressure on them. When a player's running at you full tilt, they have to go low, otherwise they get hurt like that.
Wasn't the best pass in the world. Griffiths simply couldn't hold on to it. There is a danger, I suppose, Mike, in a situation like this, that things can just get a little bit sloppy when it's so one-sided.
Well, at 32 points on the board already, you can afford to take a few gambles and a few risks. But they certainly did just drop down a keg there. Bit of claret on view. That will have to be stitched up.
David Cruikshank, this is how it happened. As Mike says, waiting for the player, this time Sonny Nicol, to come straight at him, full tilt, and taking a knee in the face.
Yes, it's always a problem. Not always can you get your head to either side of the would-be man carrying the ball.
Williams, he's had a spell in the blood bin too. That's why he's got the white bandana. Here's Burkitt. Forber and Cooper snuffs the danger out. Reed. Just haven't been able to get going, Salford, today at all. The last victory here at Knowsley Road coming in January 1980. It was the last of only 8 post-war wins here in 52 visits. Well, Kevin Tamati will be working them hard on the training field this week, I fancy. There doesn't seem to be any cohesion.
Well, this could be hardly riveting viewing for the Salford players. Yet another mistake, this time from the Australian. There's the type of pressure that forced him into doing the bad kick. That's the difference between the two sides, I'm afraid. And there's a swinging arm.
Yeah, Young, I think, using the elbow on Jonathan Neal. Forearm smash. Oh, there it is.
Well, I'm beginning to wonder about these referees, Eddie. That was malicious. The intent was definitely there. What do they have to do to at least get 10 minutes in the sin bin?
32-8. That's the score. Just over a quarter of an hour of this second half gone. St Helens serving notice here to the rest of the country that they really are in the mood to pick up a trophy or two this season. Phil Vevers is about to return from the blood bin as Kevin Ward takes the play again towards that Salford line. They're so close. The shaded area is the area that St Helens are aiming for with Griffiths, and now with Rapati, and now with McCracken! McCracken! Second try for Jarrett McCracken! They simply cut them to ribbons out wide. The salute from Jonathan Griffiths says it all.
Stones bit of championship replay after the forwards have done their work. The wonderful link out wide. Players running onto the ball with speed. The momentum in for the try. McCracken's second of the day. Oh, so simple. Basic principles. Do the hard work. Get the link flowing. The three-quarter, the centre coming in very late at full speed. That is the result. The forwards, as I said, they grounded out to the right. The link out to the left. Rapati, perfect pass. Perfect positioning by the New Zealander. Great try.
Showed he had plenty of strength, didn't he, with that try too. Took a few of them over the line with him. 36-8. Phil Vevers with something or other hanging off his chin. No doubt a stitch or two in that chin. He's back on the field. Forber has gone off. And Dwyer with this kick. Giving it plenty of air this time, but the touch judges just wave it away. 36-8.
You can see the Salford defence. They've been pulled in by the rush by Kevin Ward. Look at this beautiful link out wide. Griffiths takes the ball. He used the winger as a dummy. Look how far back he was, McCracken. Let's just hold it there. He came from here on the run when the three-quarter line was coming across. You can't stop a man at full speed like that. Momentum takes him through. Good try.
So Salford now just in the business really of keeping this scoreline respectable. 36 points to 8 it is, and George Mann is driving holes down the middle. Arthur Burgess was bundled out of his way then. Here comes Jonathan Neal, now Sonny Nicol. Dwyer's the dummy half. Back to Griffiths. Burkitt's underneath it.
There we saw St Helens using the tactic of kicking early in the tackle count. They realise with such a wonderful lead at 36 points to 8, they can afford to just play down in the field. Oh, there's a few fists being thrown.
Ford and Sonny Nicol. And the argument continues as play carries on. Coleman, Williams. Frustration, the name of the game for Salford today. Bradshaw, still Bradshaw. Looking for support, and everyone is plodding up for Salford. Coleman. Burgess and Williams. Ooh, Williams ran straight into Jonathan Neal. It's the last tackle. Lee over the top. Cooper read it.
Excellent positioning there by Shane Cooper. In the sweeping position, anticipating the kick. They really are already putting things right, aren't they, St. Helens? A classy outfit and a classy display today.
They're going to go close, aren't they? I don't think there's any doubt about that this year, providing you can stay clear of injury. With Kevin Ward in the sort of mood he is today, well, anything's possible. I mentioned injury. They've got Dave Lyon, their new signing, with a hamstring problem. Also out, 2 wingers, Mike Riley and Les Quirk, and Paul Loughlin and Gus O'Donnell, all missing today. What a problem Mike McLennan will have when they all come back to full fitness. A coach's dream. Lovely chip over the top. Burkitt has to be quick. Under pressure from McCracken and Sullivan, both of them on a hat-trick.
Lovely kick, but Martin Burkitt was well placed there. Really did not shirk his effort. Sliding in, did the right thing, put his body between the oncoming attack and the ball.
7 tries so far from St. Helens, and 3 of the 3 quarters, Hunt, McCracken and Sullivan, all on a hat-trick here. That's a nice clearing kick from Mark Lee.
Took his position well, but they do look a very dejected side. Salford realised that they can play better than this. Far too many mistakes allowed St. Helens to get on the roll early, and they've never looked back since.
Here's Rapati, and here's McCracken. Just trying to step his way out of trouble, but Burgess hauled him down. St. Helens come forward with another wave. Rapati. Griffiths the dummy half. Vivas and George Mann now. Vivas again, dummy half. Cooper. Still Cooper. Dwyer running strongly. Vivas just couldn't hold on. Griffiths hacks it forward. Burkitt picks up, but he's called it back for the knock-on as the referee.
Well, he's having a storming game, Bernard Dwyer. Support play, little passes, little chip-throughs. He really has been Johnny on the spot. A great match. But once again, Eddie, that Salford defence, they're just allowing St. Helens to come at them.
St. Helens with 2 more handling errors than Salford, but they've been forcing the pace from the very first minute. And the errors that Salford have made, 8 of them, well, let me tell you that St. Helens have scored 7 tries. Not necessarily from all of those errors, but still. Meanwhile, the referee turns a blind eye to Jonathan Neal's little right hook. That's better play. Good stuff from Bradshaw. He's brought Stasiker into it, and Stasiker's dropped it. It seems to me that every time Salford gets something going, they drop the ball.
Just panic football. You can't really blame them. They know that this game is completely out of the bag. But possession of this football is so vital.
St. Helens making a double substitution. Chris Joint is number 15. Paul Forber is number 14. They will come on at the next break in play. And they'll come on for Sonny Nicol and Shane Cooper. No doubt Mike McLennan with that Lancashire Cup tie in mind on Wednesday against Widnes here, giving a couple of his forwards a bit of a rest. And coming back out of the blood bin is David Cruikshank. Meanwhile, the referee has pinned Salford for offside. Now the substitutions should be made.
No doubt about that. He had a selection of 5 to pick from, maybe 6 or 7.
Nicol coming off, so too Cooper, the captain. Big effort from Nicol, big effort from Cooper. And there's Chris Joint, number 15. Meanwhile, as I say, Salford have made the change too. Bob has come on with a big smile. Cruikshank has come back off the blood bin. And Andy Burgess, the man who has gone off to be replaced by David Cruikshank. St Helens then. Salford again having to repel